Hello, I'm back with another video. Today I want to talk about the Cross Peerless 125. This pen, unfortunately, Cross doesn't make anymore, but you can find them on the used market. So this is the Cross Peerless 125, and this actually has an 18 karat gold sailor nib. So you can see there, it says Cross. There's no sailor engraving on there anywhere, but it is a sailor feed and nib. When I bought this on eBay, and it's from a seller that I bought some Cross pens before. They mislabeled it as a medium, but it's actually a zoom nib. I'm not sure if Sailor's the only one that makes zoom nibs. Maybe Pilot makes them. But the zoom nib, very interesting to say the least. And so it did come with 2 cartridges and a converter. So it did include the proprietary Cross converter. You see there. Not sure what that said, what that refers to, the 1014, but that's the converter, Cross, and again, the nib and feed. Nothing in there, some plastic threads. You see it has a kind of a ratcheting sound, which is interesting. It screws on there very tightly. The section is black. Right there on the band you have Cross Peerless 125, and this is a metal body, lacquered, and you see the striations there, and that's under the lacquer. It's a marking under the lacquer. That's in finial. Has a little ridge in there. Gold band there at the end of the section. And the cap has a Swarovski crystal there. Silver at the end of the band, at the end of the cap there. Then we have the clip. And this clip is unlike most of their other Cross clips. It's not the most attractive clip in my opinion, but it is functional. So a beautiful top finial, and this color is blue quartz, the matching crystal. Very beautiful pen. A lot of people complained about Cross pens being too thin. And so with the Townsend and with this pen, they tried to get away from that a little bit. It's has some heft to it, but not too heavy. It's 43.9 grams uninked, and I'll put the measurements on the screen at some point in this video. So Cross is quoted as saying, "This is the finest writing instrument we've ever brought to market." And so when these were first introduced, they were about $250 to $280 retail. They also had a 23 karat gold plated Citizen version that was retailing for $625, and a metallic finish that was priced at $452. As I said, these are no longer being sold widely, but you can find them on eBay and other used marketplaces. I paid, how much did I pay for this? I paid $250 for this, which was the price that it was going for when it was new. And again, this was a seller that I bought items from before. It definitely feels substantial in quality. There's definitely a quality build to this. Feels very substantial in the hand. The zoom nib may not be for everyone, and I'll do a writing sample in a sec. the metal body may not also be for everyone either, but it feels actually pretty light to me. I don't get any hand fatigue. Also, it's not slippery or anything. It's very comfortable to write with this. This is a plastic section down here, resin section. So yeah, it's resin. So it feels very comfortable. I could probably write with this for 4 hours if I had the attention span to actually sit down and write for hours. So let me do a writing sample for you. So this is the Cross, and you can see it's a Z Nib. When I actually first wrote with this, I was like, ooh, it's like writing with a Sharpie. I was like, ooh, what is this? This can't be a medium. And yeah, it's not. It's actually a Z. If you can see there, it actually says Z. I don't know if you can see. Focus. But anyway, there's a, it's indicated by, it's a Z on the nib. So I was like, oh, it's a Z Nib. And I saw a few videos about Z Nibs on YouTube. So I kind of knew a little bit. So I was like, I won't send it back because this may actually be a good thing. So the ink in here is Birmingham Pen Company. Blue Bonnet. This is Blue Bonnet. The pen was also drawn with Blue Bonnet. See, there's a lot of red shading in there. Very beautiful ink. So, as far as the writing, so if I start down here, get very thick. And plus it also has some flex. So then the more you get it vertical, the thinner the lines are. So if you don't like changing how you write, this is definitely not the pen for you, unless you like really thick lines. Which this is fun to draw with, but to write, I would never write with this. So I tend to hold this pen like this so that I can get a medium line. And so because I write with both hands, and I'm able to switch up grips. Okay, so this doesn't really bother me, but if you're really set in your grip, it's not the pen for you if you want a thinner line at least. In reverse, I thought it was going to do okay in reverse, but it's so. It writes sometimes in reverse, sometimes it doesn't. See, it kind of dries out. But this Z Nib is very, very interesting. I'm glad that he actually made that mistake, and I will take it. I was tempted to get a Z Nib on a Sailor, but I was like, I don't know about that. So, but this was a happy mistake, and it's definitely a beautiful writer, even thick. It's very thick and wet. So that's the Peerless 125 screw on. Everything screws on, and there, again, there's the side profile of that clip, which is the normal Cross uses, I don't think I have a normal Cross clip. I guess there is no normal Cross clip. What I'm thinking of when I think of normal Cross clip, one second. When I'm thinking of a normal Cross clip, I'm thinking of this one, which is on the Townsend. And these are also on the Centuries and the old pencils that I've collected. And so this is very a lot more in your face that maybe us old cross people aren't used to, but it's just a clip. Still a very, very nice pen. So to compare some sizes, here it is. Let me zoom out. Here it is with a Cross Bailey and a Cross Bailey Light. The Cross Bailey is metal. The Bailey Light is resin. And again, this is the Townsend. And another Pilot. And the Pilot Metropolitan. So the Custom 823 and a Metropolitan. So you can see how big it is. It is really rotund here. And the body is big as well. It's the biggest one here. Let me get a Jinhao X159. One sec. Okay, I found the Jinhao. So let's get all of these out of the way. We'll get most of them out of the way. We'll keep the usual subjects. And we'll add a Jinhao X159. So yeah, they're pretty comparable. The Jinhao X159 is actually bigger, girthier. And posting. This is postable and it does post securely, and it's not back weighted. This is actually very postable, very usable, posted. And the Jinhao X159 is a bit longer, partially because it has that really big nib. So you can see the nib size on the Jinhao edges the sailor nib out just a little bit, if you can see that, just a tiny bit. And unposted, and there's a very smooth feeling catch in here that I don't think it's going to do any damage to this. This pen was definitely meant to post. A lot of times when I have these fancy, expensive pens, I'm hesitant to post them because I don't want to scratch them. But Cross definitely had posters in mind. And so there they are, unposted. Really not that much difference between any of them unposted. So, and again, I'll put the dimensions and everything on the screen. So if you're a fan of this one, then I think you'll like this one. Although the price of this one may not be for everyone. So speaking of that, there are some decent options if you want a cross pen but you don't want to spend a lot of money for, say, a Townsend. There is, like I said, the Cross Bailey Light. I'm sorry, this is a Cross Bailey because it's metal, and it's a light pen, although it's made of metal. It's light and has a little small cross nib on it. The Cross Bailey Light, these go from anywhere from $16 to $19, so these perform way above their price point, and I'll show you here. Alright, with my left hand on this one. So this is the Cross Bailey Light, and I have like 3 of these, and I have had 1 or 2 of them in my currently inked, and the ink in here is just a black cartridge. black cross cartridge. Because as we all know, Cross rarely gives you converters. They usually only provide converters with more of their expensive pens, but they will include a couple of cartridges. So that's the Cross Bailey Light, just very inexpensive, but writes very nicely. All of my Cross Baileys have written flawlessly right out of the box for, like I said, $16 to $20. But if you want something more historic and more ornate and substantial, this Cross Peerless, I couldn't speak highly enough of. Just make sure you get the nib of your choosing. I just happen to like the Z Nib. But again, I bought this on eBay for about $250. And here's the box that it came in. There's the outer box. And it has your normal hinged box that the special editions tend to come in. And it's Cross. There's a booklet in there. And the sleeve that the pen came in. And there was nothing in here but a couple of cartridges and the converter. I already put I keep my cartridges together, my Cross cartridges. So I can show you the booklet. This guarantee for life. And lifetime mechanical guarantee. Now I don't know if these were made in China like their newer pens are. Probably were, but regardless, it has a lifetime mechanical guarantee. For however long Cross is going to be around, I know the company is struggling quite a bit to keep afloat, but I've been a fan of Crosses all of my teenage and adult life. So I really hope that they get it together, can find a way to come out of it. But I love my Crosses, and I'm very happy to have this Cross Peerless 125. I saw this on Penultimate Dave's channel, and I think maybe Fig Boot as well. But definitely I remember Dave's, and I was like, oh, let me look around. I looked around for a little while, and then I lucked up on it, and just happened to be a seller that I bought from before, so I trusted him or her. So that is the Cross Peerless. If you're interested, they are available here and there. So take your time, and I wouldn't pay too much for these. There's some prices that are just outrageous. In the thousands of dollars, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I definitely wouldn't buy it for that much. But again, this is a Cross Peerless. Thank you all for watching today. I hope you're all having a good day, evening, or night, wherever you are. Take care, and I'll catch you next time.